Welcome back. We are on day 4 of our gems project. Today we're going to be making the pink pearl. One of the things you're going to notice about making the pink pearl, looking at that down below, is that only one of our 4 colors is actually pink. The yellow is going to provide that kind of brightness and shine. The purples are going to add some depth to the lower edges of it, but it is going to turn out quite lovely, and like I said, it will look like a pink pearl, but it's just going to have that richness, that beauty to it all. As you guys know, I like to always start off by kind of saving the highlight area. We can always bring it back with our, there went another pencil. What is going on with these pencils, you guys? I'm serious. Anyway, bring it back with the kneaded eraser. Plus, they're just fun to have. So get that out nearby if you'd like. Get your blending stump out and nearby if you would like. And let's, well, obviously our color pencils. So what color pencils are we using? We're using yellow. We're using pink, of course. We're going to use lilac, so the light purple. And we're using our dark purple as well. And like I said, we're going to start with that lightest color, yellow, and we are going to reserve our highlight area, just so we don't forget about that. And we're going to come in very light pressure here. Notice how far back my hand is on the pencil. This is a building technique, right? That's what I always like to think of. We're layering, we're building. It's kind of growing, so I'm kind of just getting around that circle, and then I'm coming down along the edge of the right side. And remember too, whenever you're coming around something, you don't want it to be straight. We want it to be always having that curve to it. Let's bring in some pink. Almost lost another pencil. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, you guys. Don't worry. Just dropping pencils left and right. Kind of going around where that highlighted area would be. Almost like a U shape is what I'm doing here. And I'm going to add a little more pressure as I'm coming down on the left-hand side. There, just as a heads up, you guys, there is no like, oh, the left side must have this bit of pink. As long as you're kind of following that rounded shape of our pearl, and you're blending, and you're leaving some negative space within each color, and following the general rules here, it's going to turn out cool. But I want you to think about, like, not every pearl looks the same. Not every gem looks the same. So once again, it doesn't have to be exactly where I'm placing everything. Let's see if we can see that. So that's what it's looking like so far. You know, start. Look in there. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. So let's bring in the purples. I'm starting with the lilac next. And the purples are going to kind of focus more on these lower levels because we're going to add in that depth and darkness. It's going to make it look rich and beautiful. I am leaving just a hint of some lighter in here just to help make it look more rounded. So I'm kind of getting that very bottom edge and bringing it up slightly. But I'm kind of leaving just a bit of lightness in here too. I think I need to bring some of my darkness up a little bit as well, because I feel like the top part is still looking a little bit blah. But I can always come back. I will be coming back and adding in some more of those first colors too. Remember, when it comes to this, it's really a building process. I've grabbed my dark purple in case you didn't realize that yet. Grab the dark purple, and now I'm just bringing in a slight amount of that darker purple. Not a ton, just a bit. And I'm going to come in with the pink, because I feel like it is, you know, we got a bit of pink in there, but it's a pink pearl, so let's get some more of that kick in here. Right now I am using that circular blending, or not blending, but the circular technique for coloring it in. And that's kind of helping to blend it. That's what I was trying to say. It's Bringing in some more of that pink, so you know it's a pink pearl. So that's looking like so far. Definitely getting there, right? So play around with yours. You know, it's kind of just a matter of adding more. If you're thinking, ooh, went too far on that part, you can always grab your kneaded eraser, kind of bring that out, or your blending stump. Remember with the blending stump, go in circles. And a lot of times I notice when I bring out the blending stump, my highlight goes bye-bye, and I need to bring it back in. So that's what I'm going to do. Get my kneaded eraser out. And let's bring that highlight, bring it back. We want to see that. Maybe a little more yellow in this area. And I want some more pink again for my pink pearl. So you guys can continue to play with your colors and your blending and your layering. All these techniques we've been learning, making beautiful things happen. I think I want some more depth down here. Once again, there is no like right or wrong. As soon as you feel like, yeah, that looks good, it looks finished, I decided I need a little bit more around the highlight. I'm going to blend that a little more with my kneaded eraser. So I'm going to keep playing with that, but here's what it's looking like so far. And you can see that even from this one to one that I had done previously, they're looking a little different, right? They're not exactly the same, but guess what? IRL, they're not going to be the same either, right? In real life, they all look a little different too. So once you're done with that and you found something that you think looks amazing, if you're still working on your gem, go ahead and grab that back out with me. And I'm going to just show you where I left off. This may not be where you left off, but it's where I'm at. And I'm also realizing, you know, as I was adding some of the darker purple to my pearl, I realized maybe a little bit of depth to this would look nice too. So maybe bringing in some of that darker purple could be making a little more pop here. So I'm going to add some of that in. Not too much, just a bit. Your colors may be different. You guys may be in a totally different spot, but once you are done with your pearl, coming on back to this gem, or if you finished one and you want to start a different one, you want to do maybe a totally different color entirely, go ahead and do that. Ah, everything's dropping like crazy over here. Alright, okay, so let's look, I'm going to kind of pause at that spot. Let's look at where I'm moving to next on my slide. Okay, so it looks like step 4, those two facets. So this one and this one. Looks like this one's supposed to get some nice dark purple along here. Excellent. And then I can always come back in with some more, but I'm lightening up the pressure as I know I'm going to be getting into more of like the pinks and reds in that area. And then it looks like this one, maybe not quite as much pressure as I had up here. It's not quite as dark, but the darkest is going to kind of be there. Alright. And then start bringing in the lighter purple. And I'll come back and be blending these more later too. Let's get that base layer down to start. Okay, next coming in with my raspberry. Ooh, that's looking cool. Got some overlapping, some layering happening here. I'm guessing it was my pink pencil that fell on the floor. So I'll have to grab that. I don't know what it is. I rarely drop pencils, and what has this been? 3 days in a row now of just like dropping pencils like crazy. Like it's my job or something. I don't even know. Where did that one go? Found it. Okay. We're back in business here. So go ahead with that one. And once again, I'm just kind of like looking at what does it say down here. And then with the colors that I'm using, I'm kind of mimicking that. Looks like this one goes all the way to the edge too. So in both of these, notice that I don't leave any white, like how I left the white here. And these guys, I am not leaving that. I'm noticing too, I left a little white in this corner, which I wasn't supposed to. So we'll come back and just correct that a little too. All right, I'm gonna start heading in other directions, because I do feel like you can really see that, like, here's where this one ends and the next begins. We don't want that, right? We want to color gradients. I don't want to see where one ends and the next begins. So we're coming back in, we're layering, we're blending, we're making it look beautiful. But it is a process. It does take time. It is like building. It just really is. Anybody that thinks they can get this done in like just one pass, I don't believe it. I'm just gonna say it. I don't even believe it. We need more than one pass. I think I usually take about 10. Not even joking. As you guys are seeing here, it just takes a while to build that up. In different directions, that cross hatching, right? We talked about that technique. So I'm going in all these different directions, and you can see as I'm doing that, you can see how it's really starting to blend a little bit more and to just look more cohesive, more like that color gradient where we can't tell where one color ends and the next begins. And of course, if I want to come in with my blending Stump It All, I sure can. That's going to make it look really smooth, but don't overdo it, because it can kind of looking kind of muddy if you do it. Like if you overdo it, sometimes that happens. I can come back in with my kneaded eraser and clean up some edges, or maybe if it's getting too dark in some spots, I can kind of pick that up. When you knead your kneaded eraser, it cleans it. Plus it's fun. Bonus. But if you're noticing any areas are like, that got a little darker than I wanted, that can be a trick. I'm noticing too that I'm leaving fingerprints or knuckle prints, I guess, over here. So if you want to ever have like a tissue or something underneath your hand to help keep from that, you totally can. So I'm going to replicate what I did over here, over there. Maybe clean up these edges a little too. But I think all I'll have next then for next class are going to be these two and then touch up. So I feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to continue on with where I'm leaving off here. You all do the same. For the before next class, we just want to make sure we've got that pink pearl done. Of course, if you want to practice more pink pearls, you can make more circles throughout the paper or use the ones at the top. That works too. And then, of course, having this finished, or not finished, but like these portions finished, and then kind of getting ready to do the last bits next class will be perfect too. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.